Alright guys, welcome back. Today I want to kind of talk about the budget on the new GTO, the red car. I know I said in one of my other videos I kind of wanted to keep up with what we spent on this car and try to keep it under not really a specific budget, but try to use up a lot of stuff that I already have and not spend money where we don't have to, and just see how not necessarily how cheap we can build it, but you know, I really don't know why I'm doing it, I guess, because I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm not setting a specific number, but I do want to try to utilize as much stuff as I already have. So I kind of think I'm not going to count the stuff I already have, even though I've spent money on it in the past. I don't remember how much I spent on some of this stuff, and I think if somebody were to, if somebody was looking for a project and they weren't a GTO person like me and had a bunch of parts, they would probably pass on this car. I think they would be like, oh no, it's too far gone, needs too much stuff. But I've had a 70 GTO since I was 17 and have been collecting parts for them forever. So it made more sense, I think, for me to buy it than it would anybody else. So I'm not going to count the stuff I already have. All that stuff's either been bought and paid for a long time ago, or came off of cars that I parted out and may have made money on. So I think that's all a wash. I know, like, the floor pans that I bought for that I'm going to use. I don't remember what they cost, but I'm sure I could look it up and count that, but I'm not going to, because I'm also using a bunch of stuff that I have no money in. So, and then like this rear end, I bought this rear end a few years ago. I don't remember what I paid for it, but it needs bearings and stuff, so I'll count that. Anything that I spend money on from the point of purchase of this car, from now on, we're going to try to keep up with. Like a lot of this stuff over here that I'm going to use came off of cars that have been parted out. And, some of those cars I made money on, some of them I lost money on. So I'm not counting. I'm not going to try to figure that into the price. We're just going to talk about the purchase price of the car and what we spent on it so far and anything we spend moving forward. So we'll get into that real quick. Hopefully y'all can see this. I don't know. But I give $3,500 for the car. He originally wanted $45,000. The first time I went and looked at it, I don't know, it was a few weeks later, we negotiated again and settled on $35,000. I've ordered the trunk pan kit, which was $285. The rear patch panels around the corners of the back glass, $181. The trunk filler panel, which is the piece between the back glass and the trunk lid, $140. Orders of door latches, $158. Strikers, $36. Door release, like the little mechanisms on the inside of the door for the inside door handles, $104. Like I ordered a lock kit for the doors, trunk, the ignition, all that, so I'd have all matching stuff, $70. The little spring for the front of the, like, that pops the hood up when you release it, $20. And the fuel tank straps and hardware, $67. Because I have a tank over there, a brand new tank. I don't know if you can, it's covered up with stuff, because I'd put a new tank in this, and then later on I put a fuel injection kit, or a tank that had the fuel pump and everything made in it. So I have a pretty new tank over there that we're going to use. So that gives us a total of $45.61. I do apologize for my sloppy handwriting, but it is what it is. So that's kind of where we're at right now on the car. I feel good about what I paid for it. I know some people will probably think that was too much, and some people will think it's a good deal. I'm good with it. I figure a relatively complete 70 GTO with a title for $3,500. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, I've seen some that were rusted out worse than this with no titles, and they'll want 10 grand for them. It's kind of crazy, the prices of stuff right now. I mean, I thought 35 was a deal. That's why I jumped on it. And like the first time I went and looked at it and he wanted 45 for it, I offered 35, and he come back with 4, I think, and I just was like, nah. But I wasn't even back home yet, and I thought, man, I wish I wish I would have given him the 4 now. But sticking to my guns paid off. It saved me, $500. So $500 is $500. So I mean, I think I did pretty good on it. I know we got a lot of stuff we've got to still purchase for it. I know the interior will probably, if I do what I want with the interior, that'll probably be one of the biggest expenses. Because I do want to go back with the original color interior, so I'll have to buy all of that new. I have probably most of the stuff to do black interior, but I don't really want to. But you can't never tell with me. I know if you've been watching my channel, I change directions a lot and change my mind a lot. So it just depends once we kind of get into it, I think red with black interior would look good. I just don't want black interior. I have black interior in that car. I don't want another one with black interior. That car is supposed to have like a saddle color. It's kind of a tan color. And I know we've talked about this. It's kind of an off-whitish beige color interior, which I think would look good. Of course, it might be hard to keep clean, so I don't know. I'll have to buy a new engine harness, but those are only like a couple $100 if we go with the one like we put in the Ventura, so that won't be too bad. I'm going to use that motor. Hopefully it's good. I mean, we won't really know until we get in there and get it, make it run and drive. I'm half tempted on doing a fuel injection setup on this, like one of those throttle body injections. I don't know, like Sniper. They got that new stuff out now called Aces that a lot of people are, talking good about. So we may try that. I don't know. That transmission there is probably the one I'm going to use. I am thinking about sending it off and having it rebuilt, just because I'm not confident in my skills to rebuild a transmission. I could probably do it, but I know if I send it to somebody else, I know it'll be right, or should be right. And we are going to use that rear end. I'll have to put bearings and stuff in it. That's Posi with 373s. It's got the traction bars on it already. I will have to, after learning my lesson on this car, we'll have to do adjustable control arms for the top so we can get the pinion angle right. I don't even know what kind of rear end's in this. Haven't looked. And I'm trying to think what else. Big expenses we'll have to buy. I guess that'll just depend on what I decide to do with the hood. We may try to get that one off the wall and work it and see if we can make it decent. And I don't know, we'll just kind of go from there. I'm not going to count like chemicals and fluids and stuff like that now. Like, I don't think that's just part of it. So I'm not going to add that to the total of the running total of the vehicle. I know we'll have to go through the entire brake system, tire, suspension system. I do think I have a brand new master cylinder and booster around here somewhere that was purchased for this car, but that car is a long way from needing it, so we're going to sacrifice it for the red car, and then we'll get another one for that when it comes time. But yeah, I could use, like I said, I don't even have seats for the red car, but I've got seats, the ones for this car, the black car, there that I could use if I had to, but then I'm in the same boat of trying to find seats for this car, which those aren't the original seats that came in this car. The ones that were in this car were not, the back seat was factory, but it was so bad. I think I scrapped it a long time ago, and it had I think it had like Camaro high back seats in the front. I hated those, so I found a parts car that had all black interior that we got out and put in that car. But I wish I still had all the correct color interior for that car. But that car will definitely get the right color interior at some point if I ever get around to finishing it. So, but yeah, I think I think right now, I mean, of course, all this stuff that's on the list, I've ordered. It's not here yet. So right now, technically, I'm sitting at $3,500 in that car. So what do y'all think? You think I got a good deal on it, or you think I'm overpaid for it? I think it's pretty good. I mean, if you look at what's there, I mean, these nose pieces, even as cracked up as this one is, that's $1,000 by itself. You know, if you were to part this car out, I would not part this car out, but I'm just saying if you were going to. And like those are 1 year only brackets that hold that thing on. I seen a set on eBay, just the brackets, the little top piece and the brackets that go down to the frame. He wants $1,600 for them. But I mean, if you don't have them, you got it. You know, you're gonna have to pay stupid money for them. So, but yeah, it was just, I don't know if you can, just this top bar here and the two brackets that go down to the frame. They wanted $1,600 for it. So, I mean, you can sell just the nose itself for $1,000, and let's just say another, $1,000 for the brackets, being conservative. So there's, $2,000 of it right there. And then you could, a few $100 for the fenders a piece, a few $100 for the doors a piece. The front, I mean, there's well over $3,500 worth of parts on this car. So I think I did pretty good, but I didn't buy it to part it out. I bought it to fix it and make it run and drive. So speaking of running and driving, I took this thing for a rip today for the first time in a couple of weeks. So that was nice. She needs driven. Had to do some, of course I got a mess in the floor. Had to do some maintenance on the wife's car. Had to change oil and made a huge mess. So, but yeah, definitely it was time to take her down the road and back. So we didn't go far in it. We just went down to the end of our road here and back. Wound her up a little bit, had a little fun. So she needs a bath. Bad. I don't think I've washed this car since we've been back from Power Tour. And she definitely needs it. But I think it's this next weekend. There's a big swap meet that we're going to, or going to attempt to go to, try to go to if everything works out. So hopefully we can find some stuff for this. And I still need a few things for the Ventura. So fingers crossed we'll have good luck. It's one I've never been to. It's in Springfield, Missouri. It's called the Antique Auto Club swap meet, or I can't remember exactly what it's called, but we're going to try to go to that. It seems like it's a pretty good sized swap meet, so we'll see. Of course, you very rarely find parts for GTOs and stuff like that at swap meets. It's very rare. The last swap meet I went to was in Tulsa this last year, and there was a lot of stuff at that one, but it was all for like 69. If I had a 69 GTO, I'd have made out like a bandit, and it was all reasonably priced. It wasn't too bad, so I'm hoping I have some luck. It'd be nice to find, maybe a decent hood or some seats, and the Ventura needs some seats, and I don't remember what all I need for the Ventura, but it's one of those things you just kind of look around and stumble across stuff. So we may try to do that next weekend. And of course, if we do go do that, I'll probably do a video on it. But anyway, I got some messes I need to clean up in here, but I just kind of wanted to go over where we're at on the budget on the red car, and hopefully we'll start getting some parts in here pretty soon and can get back on it.
Just say no.
Really? The motor's still in it. Man, that thing is rough.
All right, so it's about a week later, I guess. We did go to the swap meet in Springfield. It was kind of a bust for me. By that I mean I didn't find anything I needed, so I didn't buy anything. But it was a really good swap meet. They had a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff, but just nothing that I needed for this or the Ventura or anything like that. But oh well, still a good time. But I did have some things come in while I was gone, and this week I did get the front pan. It is, like I said, the 3-piece, so it was a little bent up in shipping, but nothing too major, nothing we can't fix. There are the braces. I got, these are the little patches for around the back glass. Do this one-handed. Oh, 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 careful. Well, I'm just making this more difficult than it needs to be. But they just kind of go like right there. Of course, I wish they went up further instead of coming down here so far. I wish they went up, but whatever. That part right there is the hard part to make. You know, that would be the hard part to make. But it doesn't, like I said, I don't think it's just perfect. Like you can see, it's not as wide enough right there as it needs to be, but you know, whatever. I think just this part is probably all I'm going to use anyway, because most of this is still pretty good down there. But, you know, it is what it is. On this side, of course, this side over here is a lot worse, so I don't know if this is going to cover as much as I need it to. Well, get quite a bit of it, except for I'm going to have to reshape this part right here. It's a little, it's not as wide as it needs to be, it doesn't look like, but I could probably just cut it right there and then, you know, make the rest of it. But this piece that I ordered wound up being back ordered after I ordered it, so I canceled that order, and I found another place that shows to have it in stock, so I'm gonna try to order that this weekend. And then that should be it on the metal that I'm going to buy. Everything else I think I'm going to have to make. I did get, that's door hinges, so I think when we do get ready to start doing the metal work, I'm just going to take the doors off, I think, for now. It'd be easier to get in and out of the car. But I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it on the parts that I had out, other than that piece. And then I think one door latch was the same way. It was back ordered and wasn't going to be here for a long time, so I just canceled it. And I think I found another one of those somewhere, so I can't even remember where I found them at, but I'm gonna order those probably this weekend, and then we'll get, you know, started. That'll be probably the next video on this car, actually cutting and welding on it. I just want to kind of do this video real quick just to talk about what I had spent on the car and, you know, what I'd spent total so far, which I haven't put the door hinges on the list yet. I'll do that probably in the next video or whatever, add that to the running total. And but yeah, so far, you know, I think, what did I say before, the hood hinges, or not hood hinges, door hinges were at 45.61 is where I'm at in this car right now, which to me is still not too bad. Of course, that's counting all the stuff that came in this week, so yeah, I think that's pretty good. But anyway, I think I'm gonna end this video here. We do have a car show this weekend. We're gonna try to take the gray car too. I don't think I'm gonna enter it in the car show. We're just gonna drive up there and check it out. It's at Mena, Arkansas. It's the Queen Wilhelmina Rod Run. I've been going to that show ever since I was a little kid. It's a pretty good show, so we'll probably do a video on that. But I have to get the car cleaned up before we do that a little bit. I mean, it ain't gonna be like perfect or nothing, but I mean, look at it. It probably looks better dirty than it does clean. But I know, like, the wheels and stuff are nasty, and Still got dead bugs and stuff all over it from power tour, so that might be the next video, is that car show. And then once, like I said, once we get back, the next video on this will actually be cutting and welding on it. And sometime I've got to get the Ventura back in. I've got a pile of parts for it, and I got to try to figure out something with the rear end and all that. But anyway, I appreciate everybody watching. As always, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, and we will see y'all on the next one. Go work on your junk.